FM. Kaya Jessica, ya chenum yenu. Say I'm bogampa, yani ya pemu.
All right, welcome to the Upside Down Show on CTTV. This is where lifestyle and good entertainment live. My name is Premier Dinyami.
And mine is Nsiah-Apau. The show is brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. We're bringing you something, well, emotional, dramatic, interesting, enticing, but electrifying as well after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the Upside Down Show, we have a conversation with award-winning hip life artist, better known as the Rap Doctor, Okyeame Kwame, and his beautiful wife, Annica. They speak on their new book, Love Lockdown, on finding and maintaining a long-lasting love relationship, the pertinent questions to ask before getting married, and maintaining a good family dynamic on the show.
This is Fact Finder from the BBC.
We live in a world where news travels fast, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate fact from fiction. Fact Finder brings fact-checking from the newsroom up close so you can separate truth from chaff. Be empowered to tell what's fake from what's real. Watch Fact Finder by the BBC on City TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. City TV. It's your world.
Welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show on City TV, proudly brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. Today we're talking love. We're taking you on a journey to maintaining a lasting love relationship.
You know, usually finding love is not difficult. That's not a problem. The issue is sustaining it.
Maintenance.
And only you know, but this couple, I don't know how they do it, especially the kind of work that they are in, you know, having to put yourself out there, people watching you all the time, and being able to keep yourselves, you know, travel the journey of marriage for this long. I just don't know the magic that they have.
That's why we're bringing them today. We want to find out. Maybe they have the manual somewhere.
We will take the manual. No, but you know something? I think that they've done us well by giving us a manual. You know, so now we have something as a guide.
Exactly.
And I have been privileged, you know, to go through their book and Charlie filler day inside. And I'm not surprised that they have come this far. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be sharing with you how you can find and sustain your love. Our guest to help us do this is our very own. You know him as a musician, but now he's also a love doctor. He's an amazing man, but a fantastic father. Ladies and gentlemen, Okyeame Kwame and Mrs. Okyeame. All right.
Yo, a couple of them vibe,
So our guests, you know, are the Nsiah-Apau. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs., welcome to the Upside Down Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nsiah-Apau. Annie, do you guys fight?
We have misunderstandings.
What does that mean?
That is to say that it doesn't go into full-blown fight. We have things that we disagree on, but then we don't fight about those things. We have discussions about, for example, let's just say, this is very trivial, but let's just say, I like gobe, I like wachi. So what are we eating? We want to eat wachi. Then we come to a compromise and then we agree on what to do. And this goes into other serious issues, including how to raise the kids and everything. So in the house, we have a slogan which says that may the best logic win.
Okay.
So it's
so academic.
So it is about the logic. It is not about emotions and what you think. It is about what the facts say. So basically, that has guided us in our journey.
Did you do law? Any of you did law?
I did.
Oh, no wonder. No wonder.
So it's been applied at home.
You know.
So you're two individuals who have come together to form a union. Obviously, individual differences will come to play. How do you overcome this?
Well, that, like you said, we are two very different individuals. Most of the philosophies and ideas are very, very different. Annica is different with personality. She's very quiet, private. I'm outgoing and loud. She's feminine. I am masculine. Yeah. She is short. I am tall. I'm very tall. You know, really tall. And so we are two very, very different people. And what we have realized is that to be able to overcome these natural differences, we need to become both reasonable. So both of us are very reasonable in this marriage. That's one. We also keep our eye on the price, which is, our saying is that when we are both 80, we hold our hands and say we made it. You know, that is part of that's the big idea. So we have seen the big idea and we work backwards from the big idea. So what are some of the things that we must do to be able to hold our hands at 80 and say we made it? One of it is to understand that we are both different and work towards. The other one is when we are fighting, we watch the things we say to each other, or when there are conflicts. So instead of saying what you did was very foolish, we can say what you did wasn't very smart.
Okay.
In other words.
So the same thing. Exactly. Because sometimes
respect is also very necessary.
Respect is necessary. And before we wrote the book, I personally spoke to more than 20 people who have been married for 50 years. And I asked them what are the tricks that they employed. And then all of them said the same things: respect, love, dedication, sacrifice, forgiveness, honesty, transparency, communication, the same thing. So we try to bring all those things in here. And another thing is that I do not want to, I don't like to get angry, because whenever a man is angry, that man is unable to function well as a man. Yes. Now, anger reduces you to the level of an animal.
But do you guys know that?
So
they are learning.
So I try my best as the leader of this family to lead in absolute love. Another thing that causes conflicts in relationships that we try to fight is that I think that the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Fear, explain that.
So if you love if you fear your dog, or if your dog fears you, it will bite you. If you fear your dog, you will sell it. If you think your dog will do something stupid, you won't spend time with it. So it happens the same way. If your wife is afraid of you, she cannot love you. You don't love what you fear.
Right.
So once I, as the leader of the family, creates an atmosphere where there's respect and utmost love, then everything else can be dealt with love.
Wow.
Yes.
So philosophical. What did you look out for in your man? What were you looking out for, that made you spot him as the one?
Generally, you know how when you're a child, you fantasize about how your man will be and everything?
Yeah.
When I saw him, I saw that I liked him. He had the physique that I liked. And he...
Which physique? Pressure. Physique. Yes,
I love his skin. These are all very...
He's mentioned skin too. And that's
These are all very... superficial. But then what I also looked out for was his countenance, how he behaved towards me, how he behaved towards other people. And I realized that he didn't take things to heart. He was very light, for want of a better word. He had the spirit that was very bright, and I liked that. And he was also very honest with me from the beginning. And then
what did he do? What did he say?
He said a lot of things, some of which I may not remember, but then he said that if this is going to be working, I have been around for a long time. I've gone around with other people. We have to be transparent. And then we have to be super honest with each other. Now, growing up, I had seen my parents live together in love, harmony, and they practiced these things. They were very honest with each other, very transparent with each other, very loving towards each other, and they were each other's best friends. And so when I saw him and found him, and I realized that we could communicate, and it wasn't just a physical attraction. It was also something deeper than that, emotionally, physically, we could talk. So I realized that, yes, that was it. And then also based on little acts of honesty that culminated into a very huge amount of trust, I decided that this was the one.
Oh,
do you remember that moment, the day you made that big decision, and how difficult it was for you to make that decision, or otherwise?
To tell you, it wasn't difficult at all. So I had been with lots of girls.
Hey, lots.
Yes, lots.
Hey.
At 22, I was the biggest, or one of the biggest hip life artists in this country. I had Masanaba at 22.
Yeah. Was all over the place.
Yes, taking awards. I'm telling, I'm taking awards, playing the show every weekend, playing in London, Germany, Holland, France. You know, traveling the world, and I had a girlfriend in every place. I like area codes, you know.
Hey,
yes, I had in different area codes. Exactly. So when I met Annica, I was 29, and before then, for like almost about 8 months or something, I was celibate. I was tired of all the drama, so I said, I'm not doing this again. So it's like going to the fields to look for a butterfly with a jar, and you rush into the fields and you are screaming and running wild. All of them fly away. But if you go quiet, you open it, one of them will fly in. So she kind of flew into my jar. I wasn't looking. I had gone for an interview. I met her, bulging hips, beautiful face, black aketesia, wakata nwesi. You know, so when I met her, it was just a feeling. It just felt like this is the one. I told her the same day that I'm going to marry. Like the very time. It wasn't difficult. It was just something about the way she looked and how she made me feel.
Right.
It wasn't difficult. And then, apart from that, then came the issue of morality, the issue of intelligence, to add up to how beautiful she was. So when I added the intelligence and the morality, and also the fact that she had finished school, I knew that this one day when I'm broke, she'll be able to support me. You know, honestly. Exactly. So comparing her to the ones I had earlier, I realized this one was different. So then let me behave. Because I know that you don't have to keep your eye on the goal. You work on your character. Your character will take you to the goal. So I felt really special about our relationship. And I told her from the get-go that, you know what, if this is going to work, we must be honest with each other.
Right. And in being honest, I also read your part saying that Annie took you home and you met Annica's father. And the first thing he said was, go school.
Yes.
You know, share that experience, meeting your to-be father-in-law for the first time.
You know, so when I was doing an interview at one radio station in Kumasi, and then I told her that if she was looking for a job, so I told her if you wait for me after this interview, I'll drive you home. So she said, at that time I had a BMW, it was called the Antichrist.
Okay.
Yes. So when I took her home, she said, oh, you have to come and say hi to my father. You know, and so I said, why not? I didn't have any ideas in my head that we were going to date or anything, you know. So I went up there, and then the father was sitting down there with bulging eyes. And then when he saw me, we did a whole amanier, and then he said that I should cut off my hair if I'm going to be coming to the house.
How was your hair at the time?
I had mini locks. I had small locks. Yes, with my earring.
One guy.
I'm telling you. So 2 months later, I went to cut my locks.
Wow.
And then when I started going to the house, every month, this man would go through the dailies, international webs, and find scholarship opportunities for people my age. So every month, this man is talking to me about go to school. So it got to a point, I started internalizing it. I said, okay, I'm going to go to. I didn't really need it because I was already Okyeame Kwame. I knew what I was going to do. I was doing my music. I'd come back from Abuchi. I was focused on becoming the #1 musician in this country. But this man kept telling me to go to school, you know. So he actually gave me the impetus, Metutubi. What's your saying? You know, so then when I went to school, I remember that he used to tell me that also take off your earring, cut off your locks, and
be a gentleman.
And wear a suit. If you wear a suit as a musician, you become a dandy. That was the first time I had heard the word. You become a dandy, you know. So I said, what's the dandy? So a dandy is a perfect gentleman who's debonair. comfort, you know. So
oh, Daddy was giving.
Oh
you
yes,
the
yes,
vibes,
yes. Yeah. So he sort of opened my eye into an alternative look and feel, an alternative idea of how a musician can look corporate, be responsible, be educated,
just saggages and
exactly. So he opened my eye. And then another thing that is in the book, we became a tripartite community. So whenever I come to take Annica out, I'll come to him, get permission, and then he'll put time when she must be back by 9 o'clock. And then before we go, we will hold hands and then say, Rade, call Mukwe. I'm telling you, you know, so we will go and I'll try my best to bring her back at that time. That's one thing that is key. If your guardians are available and they are willing to deal with your boyfriend or girlfriend, bring them home. It makes a big difference. Sometimes when I wanted to do something silly, I thought of the father. I said, this man will lose respect for me. Let me behave. You know, so I think that with him in the equation, it gave me a certain idea. Also introduced me to how to love his daughter properly.
Of course.
Yes, you know.
He has the manual.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think all those go to school, all those steps she shoots near there. I mean, it helped and dear you more to her.
Yeah. Now, Annie, how was it like the first time you met his family?
Oh,
Who did you meet first? His brothers?
No, his grandmother.
Grandmother.
The first time I met him, it was his grandmother, and then she was a grandmother, old, so she greeted. In fact, I greeted, and then she brought us food, and basically she went away. And then eventually, as time went on, I met the brothers and I met the mom and Kwame's mother and myself. I think we have similar personality. She's very quiet. She's an amazing human being. So I met her. I met the brothers are also amazing. He has only one sister. She was excellent towards me. She still is. She's amazing. So basically, I think we come from similar backgrounds.
Okay.
And so we just sort of bonded from the beginning. So
but you know, sometimes you meet a person, you are okay to date, but you're not too sure about marriage. Were you sure of marrying him from day one?
Yes,
or
I was.
it came along the line?
No, it didn't come along the line. I have this, you know, it's a vibe. It's from all the communications and discussions and everything. Then it makes you know that, oh, we have a lot in common.
Okay.
So, I mean, when you meet them the first time, you like them. Then you start dating. Then you date exclusively. Then you have discussions to be in a relationship. Then you get engaged, and then you start your courtship, get engaged, and then you marry. So we went through the whole process, but not once did I doubt at any of these levels that he was going to be my husband.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
When Annica was 15, she told her mother.
This story he likes to tell.
She told your mother told me. I can't make up stories for your mother. She will kill me.
Share with us.
I have to find my mother.
When Annica was 15, she told her mother that, have you seen Okyeame, the slim one? That's the one I'm going to marry.
Oh wow!
And is this true?
No, I played the
faith you forgot.
I'm 15. You can remember. You should be able to remember.
Laughing. I plead the fifth. Well, if you buy the book, it's in.
You'll maybe I haven't saved that part. No.
Yeah.
I won't go into details. But did you ever say that?
If I say it's
hold on.
Right.
When you saw Okyeame, when I saw Okyeame, I just loved the Jew. You know, I felt like, wow, these guys are super cool. Me too. I love them. When you saw Okyeame, did you feel anything? Maybe we were just looking at music and they are good, they are cool guys, you know. That. Did you feel beyond they are cool guys as
when
music?
I saw Okyeame, I saw some two young, fine gentlemen who were making me happy.
Slim one, the color Interesting. Right, so now you get married, you know.
Right.
And then you start family. So when you married, now Kwame, you said there were some questions that you put out to Annie, or you put down.
Yes.
Run us through those questions.
Okay, so because I had dated like 1,000 girls, I knew how to get it wrong.
Yeah.
So I put a few questions together that, okay, one, you know that in our local parlance, before someone will allow you to marry their relative, they do a certain background check. You know, so one of the key questions that to find out if the person or any of their family members has mental
ailments,
diseases, you know, history of certain you know, diseases in their family, mental health, character, how many of her big sisters have been married, how did it work, who were they married to and why, how many, you know, things like that. So we put some questions together. So some of them were, what are your short, medium and long-term goals in life? What experiences of other married couples would you like in your marriage? What do you plan on having children? Annica didn't want children at all. If so, how many? If not, why? If we decide not to have children, if we decide to have children, but find out we can't, what are our options? Are there any sexual preferences, anxieties, or no-go areas that you would like to discuss? Have you been physically or sexually abused in your past? Do you have a child or children from prior relationship? If there are any history of family health related issues, would you like to discuss? Have you ever been unfaithful? How do you feel about fidelity? How much involvement would you like our families to have in our marriage? Which religion or denomination would we subscribe to in raising our children? You know, how do we manage our personal finances? How much should you spend on our marriage? Do you have any criminal history? How will you manage our social media? What are your thoughts on exercising, nutrition, and mental health? What is your vision for the kind of profession you would like to have in the future? What price are you willing to pay in order to achieve your goals in life? Where would you like us to live after we are married?
Why see?
Yes. Serious questions. Maybe Wyatt won't do this. Maybe Wyatt won't do this. Kwame.
So I'm not trying to say that I have the best marriage, but I think the peace that I enjoy in my marriage is because we asked the difficult questions before we got married. So, for example, on the issue of how many children are we planning to have? Annica said she doesn't want to have children. She just wants to live her life and travel the world. She wants to make money and travel. So we first agreed on one. And then I bought Sama, we agreed on two. And so now that we have these two, sometimes I want three. Because I'm an Ashanti man, to the type of 1, 2, 3. But she says no. But because we've already discussed it, it is not about to become a conflict.
No.
Because we have already agreed.
You know, how was it like, you know, this is you, we come from different backgrounds, this is what I've conditioned my mind that I want in life. Now I've met a man who thinks otherwise. How difficult was it to give up this, thing you wanted to do and compromise?
It wasn't difficult because it was a constant discussion. Every time we had it to a point, then we come back, then you lay your logic down, then it makes sense, then it doesn't make sense, then if we do this, don't you think this will be the... Do you know that if we had one and did this, it would be fun? And, you know, we had discussions. I always come back to the discussions. So it wasn't difficult. Once we had the discussion and it made sense, buying into it and saying yes was not a problem. So it wasn't an imposition. It was a discussion that we both saw that this works.
But looking at your children today and who they are, how do you feel?
Don't you want another one? Don't you want another one?
I feel very happy that I had them. I totally love children. So I am very, very happy I had them. It's just that, you know, I am such a person that I take my responsibility seriously. So what I do not want is bring children into the world that I am unable to cater to them to my full ability. So that is why I said I wasn't going to have children, because I saw how my parents took care of us. It was involving and very engaging.
And you're running away from that.
And so if I was going to do that, I knew I needed the same dedication It didn't have to be half and half. And so when I agreed that I would have 2, I knew that was the same dedication I needed to do. So whenever we are going anywhere and my parents are not there and ABK has to come with us, they come too.
If you don't know who ABK is, don't worry, we'll be telling about ABK.
So every time they are with me, so that kind of commitment was something I needed to talk about, think about, and then plan towards it. I love planning.
Right.
So basically,
we can see that.
So you had the discussion about the number of children to have. Then you had the children. But let's go into the conversation about how to raise them. Yeah, how was that? How did that go?
So Annie and I have 2 different leadership styles. So Annie thinks that when children do something bad, you can scream at them small, probably whip them small. I think that it is terrible to beat children.
Why?
I think because they're human beings, and I don't think no human being should be beaten, whether your girlfriend, your child, your father, your mother, or a thief.
No, but correcting a child, what is wrong if you give a child, some 2, 3 lashes? You
so
know?
interestingly, he has his interpretation of
Punishment.
spare the rod.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can if your child likes to play with the tab, if you can afford, you can take the tab away for a certain number of days. And when he behaves, he gets it back. Once you are nurturing a girl child and you beat them, you should also beat boys, and you keep beating them, they grow up, find a husband that beats them. It's all right. Even my daddy that gave birth to me beats me. So if my husband that I didn't know for the first 25 years beats me, it's normal.
Okay.
So I think that we need to move away. And if you beat a child, what you do is that you put fear in the children, and then they forget who they are. And they grow up and pass the pain on.
So basically, these are the reasons why some of these things we do not have fights over it. That was your first question, because we have discussed extensively. We know our thresholds for each other. And there's this part. Hey. There's this part. Don't come and steal my apple.
You don't know that.
It says that fix yourself before you start dating.
We'll be campaigning.
Fix yourself before you marry. We had fix yourself before fix yourself came. When there are problems in your marriage, focus on fixing yourself. Do not try to fix your partner, because it all starts and ends with you. So what we discussed from the onset was that I will not change you, you will not change me. Let's see our synergies, where we are great at. So we did a SWOT analysis. So where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses, where are the opportunities for both of us as we become a union? Then where are the threats? What can potentially destroy our relationship? So once we know that, we have those discussions. When they come, we know that, oh, we've already jumped the gun.
Talking about what can destroy your relationship,
Okyeame
Kwame is a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, locally, internationally, everywhere.
Legendary
he
status.
is, you understand. I am sure that women, he will not go after women, because the Kwame I know will not do that. But I'm sure that I know the way women can be. I mean, the way we all love Okyeame Kwame when we saw him on TV, when we saw him, fame and power kind of attract.
Handsome.
Very good, and his height and all. You understand? Yes,
handsome.
So we all love Okyeame Kwame. How do you deal with women throwing themselves at him? How do you handle this? Because I'm sure there will be times that will be best sending message. You probably will see it. You will hear something. How do you deal with this?
Before you go on to that, I mean, some have said that that's why you even jumped into the management business, so you can always be around him.
No. So let me tell you why I jumped into the management business before I answer this. Now, when I met him, I asked him what his job was. I mean, I knew he was a musician, but I asked the operational nature of what he was doing. And then I realized, after going with him for a few performances and events, I realized that it wasn't structural. And then from where I came, my dad was an administrator, and then there was always structures. So I decided, let me pursue a course that, and I wasn't an experienced structural organizer. So I decided to pursue a course that could help me help him.
Right.
That was how come I stepped into management.
Okay.
And then it came into brand building. So I did my master's in business administration.
Okay.
So I could assist him with the structure, because when he's down, I am down if we are going to spend the future together. So that's how I came into the management.
Don't mind them.
Now, about the women,
yes,
you know, when I said something earlier that little acts of honesty culminated into big mound of trust. So once I knew who he was, now when he tells me that he's going to point A, and I call point A, to maybe there's an incident, I need to call him, and I call point A, he's at point A. When he says I am at point B, he's at point B. He does not say A and mean B. So over time, I have learned to trust him as a person. I also know what he likes. And we share a lot of conversations and discussions honestly about our feelings. We also know that there are things that could happen. I mean, you could get attracted to someone else. That's not a sin. It's a natural phenomenon. The sin is when you act on your attraction. So basically, what we do is that we share these discussions, and then it happens. We trust each other. That's the thing. And then also, as his brand manager, my job is to make sure that women and men, especially women, love him. So if women didn't love him, then I would not have done my job. So it's very, very important to me that I get a lot of people, especially women, loving him.
If he cheats on you, would you forgive him?
He won't cheat on me.
No, he's a human being. You mentioned
like
that we are attracted to people. Anything can happen.
Do you know
the way you know him? If mistakenly it happens, can you forgive? Would you forgive?
He will not do that, because we have these discussions about these things. And I know when Kwame is attracted to someone, it is not something I am offended by. It's very unreasonable to think that he will not see someone else and think, oh, they're nice, oh, they're beautiful. It's very unreasonable and very unscientific. So I appreciate the fact that that happens. What we do here,
Annica is too academic. What we do, science,
what we do here is we discuss those things and laugh about them and share them all the time. So even before we came here, when we are done, I'll show you something. I was going to send him something I knew would heighten his happiness. And so some of those things are things we do. So I know that he will not cheat.
So some of those things.
Answer the question. Say, what if?
What if?
What if I would debate? Why debate? What if?
No, okay, so hold on.
What if it happens?
Okay.
If I mean, in a rare situation, it happens, would you forgive?
You know, these are not yes or no answers.
No, it is yes or no.
No, it is circumstantial. So what happened? Then, is there premeditation? Is it an accident?
We're going back to school.
I said this. I said mistakenly.
I cannot say that. No. I cannot answer.
Mistakenly.
Ask me. Let me give you an answer.
He is the enlightenment man.
If my wife finds another man physically attractive and goes to sleep with him, it will not be more important than what we have together.
I will not sleep with another man.
I know, but what you saying, it will not be more important than nurturing two beautiful children together.
So you forgive her?
I will not even be offended to be forgiven, because she's a total individual. Why the fact that we love each other doesn't mean she shouldn't be herself. She should be herself and deal with the karma that comes out of it.
Okay.
Just obey the
so you have to carry the responsibility, the burden of guilt.
Exactly. So I think that one of the key things that in a relationship which causes mental health issues is attachment. The concept of attachment. I love Annica to bone. I am not Annica, she is not me. Whatever Annica wants to do, she must be able to do it and deal with the consequences that come out of it. Whatever I want to do, I must be able to do it. However, I think that we are both reasonable enough to know that a 2 minutes of sexual orgasm it's not important as this thing we have here.
That brings me to why I say that I don't think you will do that, because we've had the discussion of.
I know, but the question was what would you do?
What will you do?
Because of the importance.
Maybe we should put options here. Hey, yes.
But what will you do?
See, maybe.
I think people see, once someone promises that they love you, it doesn't mean they stop being themselves. It means that they promise to help you blossom no matter what. And for me, the equation of love, forgiveness is not mutually exclusive. It's instant, it's constant. But I am old enough to understand that, like she said, that it is unnatural for me to think I'm the only sexy guy in the whole Ghana. That my wife cannot see someone and find him attractive. And if she is unwise enough to take it to the next level, that's what she did.
So when you read Love Lockdown, Maintaining a Lasting Love Relationship, page 40, you know, at the bottom you say that when I receive random text from her telling me she misses me or praising me for something I did or just because she thought of me, I feel well thought of and appreciated. Her texts make me imagine her smiling, and that brightens my mood no matter what kind of day I'm having. Okay, so you give the following are some of my favorites. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the messages are. Just get a book and get details of what the messages are. But what does her messages do to you?
Where's my phone? So I was this weekend. I was doing a performance, and she sent me a message. Move my phone, man. The other one.
Sir, please bring the phone. Yeah, let's bring it. Yeah.
Quick. So I was about to I was about to go on stage, and then Annie sent me a message. She said, I went on the stage. I wanted to break my neck. You know, usually they say break a leg.
Yeah,
I wanted to break
your neck.
Where is the message? Let me read it to you. My love, I'm so proud of you. I love your dedication, commitment, and work ethics, and I love you. You work so hard and well, and you are not afraid of responsibilities, and that makes me fall hard for you each day. All the best tonight. With all my regards, love, Annica.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
You know, so imagine it's like 10 minutes before I go on stage. I'm in a meditative mood.
Yeah.
I'm the one emceeing the show. I organized it, and I'm hosting top musicians. And we are trying to raise $1 million for the building of the Pan-African Heritage Museum. And you see, before I go on stage, I receive this. I go there charged. It's like, now I'm saying,
now take
energy
2
levels.
million.
I'm telling you. So these things, I always say that once your partner is grateful for having you, even when you do something wrong and they say it, you don't feel offended because you know it's coming from a good place.
Yes.
So for us, I mean, sometimes she even says, let me pinch myself. Am I the one married to you?
Wow.
I'm like, wow, what a good girl.
After 12 years.
Out of 16 years, 12 years of marriage, 16
years
of being together. You know, so she knows how to love me.
But how's your sex life like?
Spontaneous, or there's a timetable? You guys seem to plan everything.
No, Annie doesn't look like that. Plan. No.
It's not a planned thing. It is. It's a feeling. It's a mood.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. My son will say it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's totally how you feel about the person. And I mean, if the person does little acts of things
you are deviating the question.
What?
How is your sex life?
It's exciting.
A third party.
It's exciting. It's beautiful. Yes, it's exciting. It's beautiful. It's because I constantly find him attractive.
Of course. And I saw the press up.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's exciting.
I think that for me, exciting is even
understatement.
An understatement. It's vibrant. It's electrifying.
Yes. I don't know if you see the cover of the
it's electric. But one thing that we also discuss that we say consistently is that we don't put marriage, emotion, sex, intimacy, we don't put it on autopilot.
Okay.
Because once you put it on autopilot, it will not land well. Because we are very intentional about every single thing that we are doing.
You know, so talking about the children, I have heard people raise concerns, in quotes, about your children being overly exposed, you know, to the world, because they are very, very active as well on social media, and they are. I always say that, look, Okyeame Kwame's children are also business people.
They're actually in the spotlight on a daily.
Young age, they have their handles, they are doing their businesses. You know, Santi has the hairline doing, and say, you know, when you are doing you know, I was like, yo, now this is Okyeame Kwame's son indeed. You know, how, I mean, you plan everything you do.
Yes,
what was the conversation about this, putting our children out there?
So, Jesus Christ's father was a carpenter.
Yes.
He trained Jesus to be a carpenter before he took his heavenly role.
Yes.
So what we do, this is who we are. We train our children to learn our trade. If I were a doctor, I would go to work occasionally with my child, so that, or have discussions with them about my work, so that eventually they would either decide to join my trade or not. That's what I'm doing. That's what we are doing for our children.
Okay.
We are teaching them what we know. You cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah.
So we are teaching them what we know. And then when they grow, they can decide that I don't want it or I want it. We discussed how much we will put them out. And if you go on Santi's page and Seth's page, you see there are different dynamics. It carries both their personalities. Seth's personality is in there, Santi's personality is in there. So we ask them, they come and suggest, I want to post today. I want to do this. I've seen this. Please take a shot of this and post. We've had discussions on the dangers of social media and also the immense benefits they stand to gain with it. And they decide what to do. So, for example, you mentioned Santi's Hair for Kids.
Yeah.
That's a business we are building for our child. Now, whose child must we put on the hair brand? It is our
And then
child.
another thing that is key is that they don't manage any of their social media platforms.
Okay.
When you go there, you see managed by, is it mommy or
With
management?
them, in alignment with
Yes,
them.
they don't manage it.
Okay.
They do not have the passwords to it. If sometimes when someone writes something interesting, we want them to come and comment, we show them physically. But
we wanted to have their mood as well.
Exactly.
So we ask them before.
We do that not because we are afraid, because no matter what you do, today with internet, children will see what they want to see.
Exactly.
You know, so what we want to do is to build their character so that even when no one is watching, they will do the right thing.
For as long as I have known you, I mean, I knew you and then I knew Annica.
Yes.
Annie is a sister to me. But there's one gentleman who is always with you. ABK, DJ ABK. Who is he? Is he a family member? Are you guys related by blood? Who is he? Because he's always been with you.
Yes, so ABK
is blood.
ABK is
family.
We have the same surname. His name is Nsiah-Apau.
Okay.
We are also Apau. So we are blood. But
he's
like
one of the most loyal human beings you'll meet. And he's one of the people that I don't think twice when I'm letting him do something. With my children, with my finances, with everything. I don't think twice because I know that he has my best interests at heart. So ABK is like,
you know, that
my second arm.
I can't say something. They say that Ebusia, you're born Moja, it's also born Odo. So let's just say ABK is both.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Moja.
Yes. Great. All right. So quickly, Nana, you wanted to say something?
I'm thinking we can go into the book itself now. Let's run us through the process, the writing process, and then, I mean, obviously life experiences come in there, but then at some points the two of you might have to agree on what to put in, what to keep back. So run us through that process.
So this is two books in one. So this is book one.
Okay.
Finding a lasting love relationship, and then once you turn it, is book two.
Okay.
So this is we try to put things here that you need to know before you say I do. Okay. And then from the back, once you get married, then what do we think? Or what, you know, so inside this book or inside these books, we have our personal experiences. Right. We have researchers, we have research, we have experiences of others. Wow. And then we even have information from other books that we didn't plagiarize. Okay. You know, we sent emails to the people. And then, but the different thing about the book is that after every major chapter, we look at the crucial conversations. Okay. Because when they say that communication is the key, it is the conversations that they are talking about. So after every major chapter, we look at crucial conversations. And then after the conversations, we have a worksheet that you can actually, you and your partner can actually fill. Oh, wow. Or you can fill it and tabulate it and know whether you are doing the right thing or not. Yeah. The book was written by Annica and I, with the help of a gentleman called Nsiah-Apau. Okay. You know, so he helped us put the research together. He held the middle, you know, so we were consistently thinking of writing a book for like 4 years. But during the COVID, we contacted Che and he helped us put it together. What else can I say about the book? This is a book, the language is very, very simple. Most of the people who have read it, we wrote it with the idea that even if an 8-year-old picks up the book, to read it, she or he will be able to read it. Yeah. But the theme in here is that be yourself. Right. That is the underlying theme in the whole book, from the beginning till the end. Like Annica said, fix yourself. And once you find yourself, explore yourself. If you know that you are a sinking ship, don't bring another person's son onto it.
Kill all of us.
And kill everybody. So make sure that you have a job. Make sure that you have understanding. You have mental health, you have psychological resilience, you have everything.
You know, at a point, at a page in the book, you say that sometimes you are not behind me, you are beside me, and even I dare say that sometimes you are ahead of me, in front of me.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, so where can we get the book?
We can get the book at all EPP shops in the country. We can also get it at Kingdom Books shops. We can also get it at Book Nook Store. Online. That's online. We can also get it at www.lovelockdown.com. Lovelockdown.com. And then we can also get it at Soko Center. It's also online. SokoCenter.com.
Get it also at kaswa.com. www.kaswa, KASUWAH. Kaswa.
And then in Kumasi, you can get it at Santi's Hair. You can also get it at Nadville. Santi's Hair is a stadium. Nadville is around Ahonjo, I think.
But if I don't want to go to any of these places, can I call?
The call number is on www.lovelockdown.com.
Okay. We'll scroll the call number. Someone should just call our sales manager, Deku. Amazing guy. He will help you get one, and we'll deliver it to you. Once you pay your 130 cedis, delivery is free.
Okay, so the number is on the screen. Just call. I mean, if you don't want to move around like I wouldn't, just call the number and it will be delivered right at your doorstep. This is what we do. Maybe you should also think of audiobook. You know, the way we say Ghanaians don't like reading. I always feel that, yes, we don't like reading. It's okay. But we are audiovisual people. So maybe do something that we can also listen, you know. You play back to back in your car, in your home. Every day you are listening, you know.
If we
do the, or when we do the audio book, it will have to become more expensive than this because I'm trying to make a kill with this book. Well, like, I'm trying to sell 10,000 copies of this book before this.
And I don't see why not.
So if I do the audio book, they go and buy that. They won't buy this.
Jessica will help you with that.
Yes, her voice.
Yeah, so Jess, I've got business for you. All right, so you know something? With all the conversation we've had, Okyeame Kwame, I can sum this up in one song, you know, or maybe two. Grow together.
Small.
And she is busy. I mean, faithful. You understand? I think that it sums up everything about this. So maybe we should play Faithful.
Yes.
You know? And then when we finish, as long as the relationship is on, as long as the marriage is on, we continue to fight, you know, to make it the best that we can. You know, so we can do Faithful.
Wow, it's been an amazing conversation. It's been very, very interesting. I think we should do this again because I'm saying somebody boss but or better still, go get the book. You get all the details in there. It's been great having you guys on this show. It's been amazing. We're so grateful that you could make time to join us on this show.
Thank you.
We've made history. Because we don't find Okyeame Kwame and his wife anywhere, but we have made history. Thank you very much, sis, for coming. Thank you very much.
And you are looking flyers.
Oh, thank you. I knew Kwame was coming. I knew you were coming, so they will see me, Mia. All right, people, it's been awesome, juicy conversation. Thank you very much for your time. This has been the Upside Down Show on City TV, brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. My name is Freme Dunyame.
And mine is Nana24. See you same time.
No, but Bra Kwame has to do that.
You're going to do faithful for us. Let's go. Charlie, I'm for Bra Kwame say,
This is Fact Finder from the BBC.
We live in a world where news travels fast, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate fact from fiction. Fact Finder brings fact-checking from the newsroom up close so you can separate truth from chaff. Be empowered to tell what's fake from what's real. Watch Fact Finder by the BBC on City TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. City TV. It's your world.
Girls, humble, willing, and able to pass a minute. Many free maybe change. Hey, dedicated to my stable girls. It's a one mic jam. A shop, a shabadaba, shabadaba, daba, 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 daba. A shop, a shabadaba on sada. Shabadaba, daba, 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 daba. Usru, shop, a shabadaba, shabadaba, daba. Oh, sorry, said a shabadaba. She's busy waiting for somebody. She's not easy. Won't give in to anybody. She's patiently waiting for her honey. She don't want your money. Our hearts are in her. Take it out. See, I am busy waiting for somebody. That's me. I'm patiently waiting for Kwame. Oh, I don't need your money. Our hearts are in harmony. Now she don't need your body. I had her in her money. Hey, catch no breakables. Couple years seven for in London. Come fiesta, my first question craving. 4 years now, me hear me do free wedding. Boys, trash it off when I'm in bed. Yatetini, will fit in your bed, Messada. Watch a chain around the pen, you ring out your papa. We see from the Ninu where the sham was shitty Prada. When Beyonce and say, you're the other two Segaga. Basa, never pay with a lamani, Halane, walk as a two papa. Tawash when I'm the $200 bills. That's a fuck of man on your friend on us. On your phone, as I cover man and else. She knew what would you want it up. Hey, now you might be a psychologist. Let me see, I see an economist. Oh, yeah, man. Meeting me, baby, the option melodies. Hey, leave a message every time I melodies. Hey, say that. Let's go. Atomic crowd. She don't need nobody. Nsiah-Apau.